Hello, this is SaveMind. Welcome to a new video. In this one, we're going over the changes to the D&D Beyond marketplace. A day or two ago, April 30th, they changed the D&D Beyond marketplace and how it works. It's causing quite a bit of controversy, and we'll go over why later, as well as my opinions. So to start, we'll just go over what the changes are and what that means for yourself. They make the change. There is an article that goes over this, which you're seeing here. I will put a link in the description. One of the things I'm going to mention that this is for the US only when it comes to the physical books. It says if you want to purchase physical and digital content bundles and ship outside of the US, you'd have to go to their main Wizards of the Coast site. But now you can get physical books through D&D Beyond, and if you add the digital version as well, the digital version is discounted to just $10, which is neat. It says you'll be able to mention more information, but there's no real change. Just different. It's just differently showing what it could give you. Then it goes to the questions, how to get a discount. You now simply add both the digital and physical together into the same shopping cart, and then it'll apply the discount. Can you still purchase subclasses, feats, etc. A la carte, or what they call piecemeal? It says it's no longer supported. You'll still have access to ones you bought previously, and if you had bought them previously, they should still give you a discount towards the cost of the full book. What happens if you do a pre-order before the market change? They're still going to honor that. It should be fine. Accessing the order history is a little bit weird now because they put stuff in two places. There's one order history for normal D&D Beyond before April 30th, and there's a new one for the marketplace. But the links are there, easily enough to find, whether it's under your account or on the marketplace. There's links either way, so there's no way to not find them. It does say if you can make a future request or report a bug, you can contact them on customer services. They've got the link there. Customer service contact is also at the bottom of any page here. This takes you to Zendesk, which is their support site. It's like a third-party service for customer service, third-party website for customer service applications. The word service is getting used too much here. So let's take a look. This is the marketplace here. They've also changed where the link is. You have to go into it's just straight away there rather than being under other stuff. This is the menu here for accessing the digital versions of stuff. You can also go to the rule books, just the core rules, for example. It's not much different. Like you go to the handbook here. It says it is saying here legendary bundle discount. So if you have sourcebook bundle discounts, bundle save. So if you on the previous marketplace, if you bought certain bundles like the legendary bundle, it promised a discount off future books. Whether it was a sourcebook bundle giving only discounts towards source books, or legendary bundle giving a discount to all main official content, which is what I have. That's still being honored when you put stuff into your shopping cart. At the checkout, it will show that discount. It is supposed to also discount anything you bought piecemeal or a la carte beforehand. Some people are reporting a bug that's not being applied. So if that's the case for you, do raise a support ticket with them by going to their customer services. Use the links I mentioned before. And here's where details exactly what it gives you in the book, like background, spells, and stuff. It's not a much difference. It's just because here it's just a very basic breakdown. And it does go in a little bit more detail as you scroll down with stuff. But you got that in the previous marketplace anyway. It was just, yeah, not much difference. And there, so it's not a huge amount of difference in that aspect, other than the fact that you can no longer purchase things piecemeal. You can also no longer buy things like the compendium only content. You can't buy that anymore. They've also removed PayPal as a payment option. Don't know why, but it seems whatever. But yeah, so I'm just going to show you that to get the discount off digital stuff, you have to add both versions to the cart. So for example, if I put add to cart, item added to cart, I then have to go to the physical, wait a bit, and then add to cart. If you then go to the cart, you'll see here that the price, originally $30, is now being reduced to $10, which is the discount. And you can see here that the physical handbook is just as normal. I'm going to click check out because I'm not seeing the legendary bundle discount being shown there. See, this is a bit weird. I should be getting a discount for legendary bundle, but it's not showing. So here are the payment methods. You're going to basically pay by card, Visa, MasterCard, Discover, or American Express. Those are the only payments accepted now. I don't know why it's not giving me my legendary bundle, but let's take a look at something else I maybe don't have. Maybe it's not going to apply because I've already bought it before. Because in fairness, the discount for legendary bundles and stuff is only supposed to be for new stuff, not if you're repurchasing as a gift. I'm trying to think of stuff I don't already have. I don't recall buying that, so let's add. Yeah, because I don't. It's not telling me. Yeah, I don't have this already. It's shared with me, but I don't have it already. And there you can see a discount applying, which is about, quick math in my head, seems to be about the 15% that I should have been getting. So yes, the legendary bundle discount, at the very least, is being applied to future, at least digital. We can check if it's going to apply for physical, which would be new because it never actually promised discounts towards physical books, so it would be interesting to see if they applied that. And yeah. So you can see I'm no longer getting discount for the legendary bundle, it's just being discounted to 10. So this, if you're buying in bulk, the legendary discount won't apply. It doesn't apply to physical. And if you are getting it as a bundle, then the legendary discounts aren't being applied. I don't know if that's a bug or not, because it should do, regardless of whether it's being discounted to $10 or not before. It should still be. It is what it is. I can sort of see why they won't apply it, because you're already having a lot bigger discount. Usually discounted stuff don't often stack in most other places. So just something to be aware of. So yeah, so that is the main changes. As other than, of course, the how it all looks and stuff. Not a huge difference in how you apply them stuff. It's stuff. The biggest changes are the fact that you can no longer do a la carte or compendium only stuff, and sometimes the discounts that you're supposed to get will be a little bit different. than what you might expect if you are now buying them as bundles. And of course, you now get your bundles direct through D&D Beyond rather than having to go to Wizards of the Coast if you're in the US. If you're anywhere else, then it's the same as before. And those are the changes. So if that's all you needed, then you can feel free to stop watching the video here. I am now going to go over my opinions on this, and what I think it would mean, and why I think Wizards of the Coast are now doing this, which I'm just going to keep saying as Wizards now for now. That was a huge price for a book, to be fair. $99? Really? Like, I have the shed with me. It's not worth $100. But anyway, I'm just going to empty these out because I'm not going to actually buy these. Sure. I will mention that I imagine that in the future, they may be bringing bundles for worldwide shipping, eventually all under D&D Beyond. The most likely reason for it still not being the case at the moment is because background logistics and stuff. I've seen it happen with places where I've looked at before. How the sites and stuff manage what products are coming from which warehouse to which distribution center for shipping. That's a lot of background stuff, and it's usually easier to do things through different websites rather than putting it all onto one. Which is why other places just have separate versions of sites for different territories and regions, because it goes from different stores, different distribution centers, and stuff like that. It is possible to bring it all under one roof, and it's usually better for the customer, but the programming stuff, as well as the physical logistics, tend to make that a little bit difficult. So maybe we'll see it in one day, but it might also just stay like this for the time being, or possibly forever. That's worldwide shipping will be under Wizards, and US shipping will be under D&D Beyond. But yes, my opinions as to why I think this is happening. Well, I think there's another. I think there's a cost. They've lost a lot of money recently. Wizards has when it comes to books and things. I'm not going to be able to show much on this. There is a video by dndshorts, the YouTuber, who makes a great video. Let me see if I can bring that up. Here we go. Sorry about that. So yeah, dndshorts, great channel for everything D&D, some funny stuff. But this video here, The Cheerful Death of the D&D Monopoly, raises some good insights about how Wizards is now doing due to, well, mostly their own mistakes. We all remember the OGL fiasco. That tanked their sales a lot. People have started to realize that there are alternatives to D&D that do more or less the same type of thing. Both old and new systems, from Pathfinder to the new Daggerheart by Critical Role, to the Cypher system, which is an old but good one that I like, and on a bunch of things. He has recommendations in the video. He mentions Wizards of the Coast have had some money problems. They made quite a lot of loss recently, or at the very least, loss of profits rather than actual losses. Which has also led to them firing a lot of stuff. They are making a lot less new content there. You'll notice on D&D Beyond there's a huge increase in third-party content now being available on D&D Beyond. So it's not unexpected that it's a sign that they're having money struggles, because otherwise they'll be getting their own writers and their own content makers to create their own stuff. We're seeing that a lot less. They're still doing up stuff. There's still stuff on pre-order, but like there's where they used to have 3 or 4 things available for pre-order at once with several per year. There's only going to be a couple in a year, and all the rest is now third party. This is because they have a lot less staff doing all the writing, there are a lot less developers focusing on new content, because they fired them all for money. So they're basically trying to gain or squeeze as much profit from you, the consumer, as they can. And for some stupid reason, they thought removing things like alacarte would do that, because on the surface, an average customer paying two, for whatever dollars to get a couple of things from the market, and or just $20 for the compendium only version and homebrewing their own stuff, was not making as much money as them buying full books. I sort of see that on the surface, but the reality is that was never true. The piecemeal a la carte option was always the biggest selling point. It was the main reasons, other than the character tools, for people to use D&D Beyond for their D&D needs. Not everyone even used D&D Beyond character tools. They didn't even use the character sheets or whatever. They just got the books through D&D Beyond because it was an easy way to get the access without having to pay the full price up front every time. So it made it easier for them to do that for their home games and the tabletop games. And of course, they've now shit their own bed with it because they've taken that away. I myself used to do this. I used to get things piecemeal, and then when I had more money, I would then just get the full book with the previous purchases being discounted. Or I would be able to pre-order if I could. But there doesn't seem to be any... You can't do that anymore. And it's stupid. Like, I suppose in one way it'll drive up the cost of the PHB, because, to be fair, most of the stuff you want from the PHB is already free in basic rules. So the only thing you would get from the book is just some extra class and race options, which you could just get piecemeal for a lot less. But for everything else, especially considering they're now going to be doing a new player's handbook and a new Dungeon Master's Guide and new whatever else for the 2024 releases, of what used to be called 1D&D. I don't know where I was going with that thought. They basically try and make people pay full price for everything, rather than piecemeal, because they have forgotten how much of an attraction it was, how much advertising, how much easier it made it for the customers to eventually buy the full books by starting with piecemeal. Because you have to remember, not everyone can afford it. D&D is an expensive hobby. It's not the most expensive. There are far more expensive ones. But it's cheaper than getting video games. It's a wonderful social hobby. And the books aren't exactly cheap. Even the digital versions, they're not cheap for some people. Like in my case, I'm out of work because I have a brain condition. I can't work. You know, like making this video, just waffling on into a microphone, is going to give me a big headache. I can't work, so I'm relying on benefits to just get by and pay my food. Prices are all increasing, so my ability to get frivolous things like new books is reduced. Just to get a $20 book, I would have to save up for a couple of months because I can't afford it. I'm on benefits. My what used to be £30 a week shopping now costs close to 60 for the exact same stuff. The cost of food, the cost of rent, the cost of council tax, the cost of everything you can buy in your daily life, at least here in the UK, has all increased very significantly by at least 100 to 150% in the last 2-3 years. So I can't afford books. I used to rely, so more recently I relied on more piecemeal options to get some extra stuff what I could, to spread the cost of a book over multiple purchases, little bit by little, until I can get the whole thing over the course of, like, say, 4 or 5 months, while still having something with it in the meantime. And there's a lot of people in the similar situations who used piecemeal or a la carte paying to eventually get the full books that they wanted to play with, and still had something to play with in the meantime until they can get those full books. It was a very attractive option for many, many people. So to take that away is going to reduce a lot of sales. They have to also take into account they have already mistreated their customers with the whole OGL thing. They went too far into being greedy, and it cost them heavily. So they're making the same mistakes. There's already stuff on the forums of people now wanting to not boycott, that's not the wrong word, to stop buying D&D Beyond. And as mentioned in the D&D Shorts video, D&D Wizards need to be careful because they no longer have the monopoly of the tabletop role-playing games as they used to. Like, it wasn't even that long ago, give 5-6 years, D&D was the only thing about tabletop role-playing games. There's so very few in mainstream media. There's very few acknowledgement of anything other than D&D when it came to tabletop role-playing games. At least the ones that had more narrative aspects. But now that's not true. There have been many, many alternatives now. Mainly which already existed before. They just didn't have the awareness that people have now. When the OGL crap show happened, I apologize if I keep sounding weird. My stomach's going a bit weird on me. When the OGL stuff happened, a lot of people looked into alternatives, so they were taken back with all the alternatives that actually already existed, and of course, some new ones came up. What is DC20 or something like that, or DM20 came up. There's another one that was made by Matt Colville, which I mentioned in this video. MCDM was made specifically in response to the OGL stuff, to give people an alternative to D&D, and to keep playing their games in a D&D style way, but with none of the crap that they're getting now from Wizards. Wizards were able to get back some of their faith. They sorted it out quite sensibly. Started to move forward. We're getting back into D&D's popularity again. And now they do this, taking away the biggest attraction to their market that they had. It's crap. All this is going to do for those who need to keep playing D&D, they're just going to pirate it. Everything, like, not being funny, but everything you can get for D&D is already out there for free, just illegal. But it's easy to get and untraceable to get. So they can't stop you from getting all everything you want for free if you just do the right searches and know where to go. So all this is going to do is encourage people to just do that, and then they can just homebrew whatever they want onto the character tool, if they even wanted to continue using D&D Beyond at all. Or they'll just go to alternatives, like Roll20 basically has a similar. Okay, they can only do full price again, but if you have to stick to just buying things full price, why continue with D&D Beyond? Because they did all these changes before this post went up. There was no notice of it happening. All the people who were planning their purchases and future spending around the piecemeal options, which was a very common thing, they got screwed over because there was no notice of this happening. There was no indication. There was no talks. There was no surveys. There was no, just to let you know, there was nothing. One day it just happened, and then we got this post later on, which doesn't explain anything. It doesn't go into details about the legendary bundles and stuff. It doesn't go into details that you needed to go into. It is not as clear as it should be. This was a shit show by D&D Beyond and Wizards. So who knows what's going to happen? There's going to be a lot of people boycotting, and again, D&D Beyond and Wizards are not going to be in trouble again. They just are. There are too many alternatives to D&D now. But as mentioned in this video, which I'll keep going back to because it's a very good video and he's a very good YouTuber. It's just even the biggest influences of D&D, like Matt Coble and Critical Role, who are undoubtedly the biggest influences when it comes to D&D Beyond, getting new audiences, and getting people into the hobby. They've got their own systems now. They're not continuing with D&D. They're continuing with MCDM in the case of Matt Coble and Daggerheart in the case of Critical Role. They have their own systems which are going to be promoted and getting, because all people who were just swaying, who thought maybe I'll give those other systems a go, but they still really liked D&D, this is just going to push them away. Because one of the biggest draws of the D&D Beyond market wasn't even the character tool. It was the piecemeal and affordable options that they offered. Now, they've taken all that away, and they've reduced your payment options. So before you had alternative options to just using a credit card, you could also use things like PayPal, which a lot of people liked because it meant that it was easier, it was more flexible. It was especially easier for people who were in other countries because PayPal conversion fees were usually cheaper than the bank's credit cards when it comes to converting things into different currencies. So, and of course, people want privacy. PayPal security has a lot more privacy than just straight up giving your credit card to D&D Beyond. I can't see any actual reason why they removed PayPal as a payment option, except maybe because when you have an e-merchant like PayPal or the background service that lets you pay through credit cards, they charge you for using them. The site D&D Beyond would get charged for every transaction made through those systems. It's how digital payments have always worked. Because they provide a secure service, directing contacting stuff with the banks for you and all that stuff. They get their payments and service through those transaction fees. PayPal's is probably a little bit more expensive than most credit card service e-merchants, but even so, for a company like Wizards, for a company as big as they are, especially considering they are owned by Hasbro, the biggest toy-based company in the world, or at least one of them, there shouldn't have been an issue when it comes to paying that slightly bit extra to have PayPal checkout, especially because PayPal also offer terms of credit. They also offer buy now pay later options in certain situations, which again helps things be more affordable than just paying through a basic credit card. Because PayPal credit had like interest-free repayments and stuff like that. They just had a lot more payment options through PayPal than you ever would through a credit card. So removing PayPal, I understand not employing or making use of PayPal, but to remove it when it was already there, that's a slap in the face. Because again, if I want to buy a book now through D&D Beyond, digital, physical, it's going to cost me more than it did before because I would have to use my card rather than through PayPal, and the conversion fees for per transaction on a card are generally higher, at least in my bank, than through PayPal, which is why I use PayPal. So yeah, it's not only is it a slap in the face to everyone who uses piecemeal a la carte options, it is an extra slap in the face to people who are on lesser income and were who relied on piecemeal options, who relied on PayPal portability, and because of that, it's also even worse for people who are not in the US, because again, they're going to hit with even greater currency conversion fees through their cards. So this is a shit show in every possible way. Yeah. So those are my thoughts. But at the very least, you now know what the D&D marketplace is. I do recommend providing your feedback to wizards, as they say, either through, excuse me, I'm getting indigestion, either through customer service here, although do beware, that will take a long time to get any responses from them, because they're about to get very slammed by a lot of people. You can also use the forums. They do have a feedback forum specifically here. And again, do be aware, there are already threads on this, so it will be better to add to those existing threads rather than making entire new ones, so as to not clog up the forums with just not. We can see here, unable to buy things separately, marketplace redesign, April 24 store update, marketplace update. There's probably a reply here about the same type of thing because it's now changed. A new marketplace looks nice, but we should there's already multiple threads on the whole new marketplace and stuff. Don't make a new one, just add to one that's already there. It's just makes it easier for people who, like me, who have to go through these forums a lot. But still, it is important for you to provide your feedback, because wizards need to know that this shit is just going to kill their hobby, at least when it comes to D&D. All it's going to do is drive people away to new alternatives, which would be a shame. I like D&D. I like D&D Beyond for the most part, despite its flaws. It's one of the best character tools out there. It was making progress for a while until everything seemed to just grind to a halt. But it is still one of the best character tools out there. I like D&D Beyond. I like its forums. I like the people I've met there. So, and even though I can't play D&D anymore because of my Bring edition, making things really awkward, I still want to keep up with the hobby. I still want to make a character every now and again. I still want to see people's stories. I still want to be part of the discussion and see it grow. And all this is going to do is drive people away. And while there's some good alternatives, I don't like them as much as I like D&D. Most people find Pathfinder amazing. I don't like Pathfinder. It is way too much like 3.5e. Even Pathfinder 2 2nd edition is just, there's some good parts I like, but there's just way too much number crunching. Even before I had a Bring edition, making that hard. So I don't like Pathfinder myself. I like Daggerheart, but that's in very early stages. It's getting very mixed reviews, so how popular it's going to be is going to be strange, and all the rest of it. And of course, there's just the exhaustion of having to learn a whole new system, which I don't have in me. So yeah, I want D&D to thrive, but the option that they are taking with this D&D marketplace, it's just going to kill D&D unless they go back to the way it was. They're not going to make any profits. They're not going to increase their profits through this. There's already multiple threads and people complaining about it. There's already social media. I am pretty sure there's going to be another video about this from YouTubers like dndshorts or others about this change. Again, I get that's a privilege. I get that piecemeal alacarte options were a privilege to begin with, but it was a very big driving point for making D&D Beyond especially special compared to the other places you can get it digitally, like Roll20. So yeah, I don't understand it. It's a shame. So please do provide your feedback to D&D Beyond and Wizards. Let them know, hopefully, unless you agree, that this is not okay, they should bring them back. But anyway, let me know what your thoughts are. It's a good discussion to have either way. Let me know your thoughts and your comments. If you have any other videos similar to D&D Shorts or any others that come up discussing this, I would love to see them. So please put links to them if you can in the comments, because I would love to be able to keep up with the whole situation and know what's going to happen and stuff like that. But yeah, enough rambling. Thank you for watching if you're still watching. Bye for now.